Hi, I'm Zach Stewart.
Laura Hotchkiss.
And I'm Daniel Kvoras. On this podcast, we improvise in character as hosts of a morning radio show in a fictional country called the Driftwood Isles.
Everything we say is made up, and none of the events, people, or places are real.
It's that simple. Now enjoy this episode of Good Morning Driftwood.
And that was a very inspirational and very informative advert right there. You rejoin us here at Good Morning Driftwood. I am Penelope. Joining me, as always, Bench.
I'm second again.
Congratulations.
That's
Back on
huge
up
for me.
there.
Oh my God, thank you.
Don't make a big deal about it. I'll never do it again.
This is cool.
And Dirk.
Hello, friends.
Now, Dirk, you were making pleading eyes because before we went to that break, you were starting to talk about a bird, and I feel like you really wanted to keep talking
It's
about
a
that
new
bird.
development in my life that I'm very excited about. So I went for a hike in the foothills of Finicky Ridge over the weekend, and a falcon landed on my shoulder. I was very startled, but it quickly became clear that the falcon meant me no harm and, in fact, wanted to be friends. So I waited for the falcon to fly off, but he never did. He stayed on my shoulder, and he came home with me, and he is now my roommate. I've named him Justice the Falcon, and we are very happy together. He flies off in the mornings and the evenings for brief periods of time to find his own food, and sometimes he brings back dinner for me as well. And to be perfectly honest, he's the best roommate I've ever had. I feel a kinship and dare I say love for Justice the Falcon.
What?
He's my happy little buddy. What do you guys think?
Food is he bringing back?
Mostly rodents and various things
And
that
you're
he finds in the
eating-
forest.
Are you
Eating the
eating
rodents?
this?
Have you had a nice cut of squirrel meat?
No.
It's shockingly succulent.
I'm sorry, like I can imagine it being like okay if it was maybe like cooked up in a certain way, but like it just
Oh, wait, you don't cook it?
No, I cook it up.
Oh, you're cooking it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
I was
God.
like, it's Justice also doing some sort of culinary chef.
No, he
material?
eats his own
How's his
rodents,
mirepoix?
and then he leaves them. He actually will take it directly to, I don't know what word you just said. He takes it directly to the skillet and just drops it right on there. All I have to
that's
do
nice.
is throw in some oil, turn that skillet on, and there you go.
No
There's dinner.
seasoning, no other elements to a dish.
Squirrels have a
assume he'll get
natural
round to that.
seasoning to them.
Squirrels
If you-
have a... No, let's just make
If you
sure we
ate-
all heard that.
If you ate squirrel as often as I do nowadays, you know that there's a natural flavor.
Now, there is something that explains because you're both looking more muscular. It seems like you're getting more
Thank
protein,
you.
but
Thank
also
you.
you look so gaunt, like there's something wrong with your skin at the same time.
Interesting.
Do you think you maybe, and this is pure conjecture, I have no medical backing. Do you think you maybe have, I don't know, intestinal worms from all of this?
It's a good theory.
Well, I'll be honest, the food goes in, it doesn't come out anymore.
That's
okay,
bad.
that makes sense.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Usually
I
means
assumed
the
it meant I
worms
was
are-
just operating at full efficiency.
You're
Listen,
using every part of the buffalo.
Yeah, I
Literally.
thought justice was elevating
Mm-hmm.
my state as a human.
I don't think you're supposed to be living with a falcon and
Well, are you going to live how you're supposed to live or how you want to live?
look,
He makes
look,
a good
I don't want
point.
to. I hate to bring this up again because last time we did bring it up, it was a whole thing. But when you went to Finicky Ridge, did you do what you sometimes do, which is go trying to get a bird friend because you have trailed the carcasses of animals before, just in a desperate attempt to get and befriend a wild.
There was that one
Bird
time
of prey.
you covered yourselves in mice, dead mice, to try to entice a bird to come and perch over you.
That was something that did happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'll own up to that. But, sometimes I like to take a walk. Sometimes I encounter animals. Sometimes those animals attack me. And I like to then make a trophy of my kills.
Now,
And so a bunch of mice attacked me that day. And so what was I going to do about it?
Okay.
Defend myself. And what was I going to do after I defended myself? I was proud of that, of the fact that I defended myself against this onslaught of warrior
I
mice.
And to be fair,
And so
it was
I
a nice
draped them.
jacket. It
It
was a
was,
nice
it
jacket.
was.
I thought it looked really smart when you wore it to the museum gala, the
Thank you.
fundraising
It
gala.
seemed
I thought
appropriate. It was the
nice.
Natural History Museum.
It was very nice.
It was the Natural History and Science Museum, and therefore it was appropriate.
And I don't,
Mice are science.
I don't want to
Go on.
Mice are
mice are
science.
I don't want to
And
challenge you to, or I don't want to come off as too aggressive. However, you did start this explanation by saying that you like to go on a walk. Now we all know how much you hate cardio.
Yes.
This is true. I don't think of walking as cardio.
You don't?
If this is more of an Indiana Jones style adventure.
Okay, explain
That's
that.
different than
Let's
walking.
expand on that. Let's unpack
Well,
that
I
a
went
little bit.
out into mountains, into nature, into forest, into the rugged outdoors, presumably where there are relics and artifacts of historical and supernatural value.
Then we
A
have a
la
lot of those.
Indiana Jones.
I'm
There's
sorry.
a lot of those on
I'm
Driftwood.
so sorry to interrupt just now, but I'm just taking anytime you say something that sounds like it would make a good improv team, I'm just writing it down on notes.
Why?
Why?
Because you never know when an improv team is going to be like, oh, we have no name.
Do
for
improv
our
teams
teams.
contact you often
You
about
on an
names?
improv team?
No, I'm absolutely not on an improv team. That would be disgusting. But a lot of people that I know are on improv teams and they never know what to call them. So I've so far written down mice as science and
I
also
have
relics
I
and
have
artifacts.
cut out all the people in my life who are in improv teams. I don't want to hear any more about a herald. I'm done.
Fair.
Well, then let's
That's
not. Let's
fair.
go back to that story.
Yeah.
Sure. And so I venture out a la Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
This is not cardio.
A la
This is-
Indiana Jones.
This is not cardio.
a good team name.
These are adventures at which
okay.
I expect and hope to encounter trials and tribulations,
Like a big
and
boulder.
also animal companions.
Have you ever seen
that
a big
is-
boulder?
I've not seen a big boulder, which is crazy because you would think there would be so many infinite. It's so rocky out there.
Okay. If you are,
But I think I have to assume that there is one group of hill people that has constructed a type of boulder trap.
Okay, I
Help
just want
people.
to pause you there for a second. I don't want you to think about team names anymore. I know that you can see me typing these, but I don't want you to like change
Sure,
the way
yeah.
that you're thinking or doing.
Okay.
I'm just
You just looked at me
You just
so
do
expectantly
you.
right there.
I'm just gonna
Can I-
listen
I
out
have
and
a
then I will
question.
read back.
There are
When we
hill-
get to the end, I'll read back.
There are hill people all throughout Finicky Ridge
Yeah.
in various hidden pockets. I assume that some of them do have constructed various booby traps, so a boulder has got to be one of them.
Now-
and I do encounter booby traps often, but none of them have been a boulder.
okay, I have a question for you.
What's that?
So if you're going on a lot of, again, a la Indiana Jones type adventures,
Yes.
have you already gotten to the point where you are joined by your dad to one of these, and then you find out you both fuck the same lady?
I have not been joined by my father, Thomas Wiley, unfortunately.
Okay,
I
he
usually
is-
do invite him. I think the fact that I have a Falcon now gives me some credibility and hopefully will lure him.
is this a dad thing?
It's not. Look, it
It's
happened
Indiana
naturally.
Jones. Of course, it's a dad.
It's not a dad thing. It is absolutely not a father
Now,
thing.
Your
It is
dad
purely
does look
an
a lot
adventuring
like
thing.
Your dad does look a lot like Sean Connery.
Your dad is the spitting image of Sean Connery.
He does. That's true. Many people have said that. And it's a good look. He pulls it off well. I think he dresses better than Sean Connery personally, and I think he's got a little more flair to him.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is not about him. This is not about him at all. This is purely about me and now Justice going our adventures. Adventures with Justice is what I have titled.
Have you gone on any adventures with Justice already?
Well, it was this past weekend.
Okay, that was like the first.
Yeah. It was when I got him. It was not when he found me.
Oh my god! I just realized that Dirk and Justice. That's a great name for like a crime, like the procedural TV show.
Or
Dirk and Justice.
Wiley Justice.
Ooh, I like that.
Huh?
Wiley. That's the name of like a character.
You said that so.
She's like a detective, but she's also a lawyer.
You said that so confidently that I have to ask. Have you written the script?
I have written a
already?
treatment.
Yeah.
It's not a full
Yeah.
script yet,
Yeah.
but I do have the beats of the pilot fleshed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it
And
just you said it
I'm-
with the confidence of someone who was like, I've been waiting for waiting for the conversation to get here.
I'll
Here
admit
it is.
that was a soft launch. I was
Yes.
floating that to see how you guys
I'm
responded
in.
to it.
I'm in.
You responded
I'm
very
all in.
positively. Do
I
you
love
think
it.
it should be a person or do you think it should be a bird?
I think it should
Do you think
be,
it should be entirely all birds? The whole cast be
Oops, all
birds?
birds.
All birds? Wiley,
all birds.
Justice, all birds? Or do you think there should be one bird and one human? Or do you think it
feel
should be
like-
all humans?
I feel like Wiley Justice should be a human, and I wonder if she also has a bird that's called like, what's like a Your Honor.
Bird. Your Honor?
Yeah, Your Honor is the name of her bird.
your
Gavel.
first name, Jessica, middle name, honor, surname.
Your J Honor.
Your J Honor? What?
Yeah, it makes no sense. But when you just do the first name,
you really
surname,
mapped it out with a confidence.
Yeah,
that I
I
thought
wanted
it
it
was
to
a
be-
thing, and
I believe
I
you.
thought
Yeah,
it would be like a cute thing whereby, like her name wasn't specifically meant to be the phrase "Your Honor," but when you get rid of the middle name, it becomes Your Honor, and then you're like, "That's cute."
It's like a little pun.
Yeah,
Is it a pun?
I don't think that's what puns are.
I think that's a pun.
I don't think that's what puns are.
Well,
So there.
so who do you have in mind? Who do you have in mind to play Wiley Justice?
I think Stephanie Wilson.
Stephanie Wilson.
She's coming up.
Casting.
that would
She's
be my
coming
choice.
up. She's doing
good.
She's on the coming up.
casting.
She's doing
She's on the
theater.
coming 'em up.
She's on the coming 'em up. She's coming on up. She's doing a lot of
choosing
theater these
really
days.
Good
been-
projects.
She's
She's
selective.
been in an elevator and she's coming on up.
Just coming on up.
Oof.
Well done.
Because we were in
Good
a higher.
Good pun.
That only really. That's not a pun.
What?
You just said good pun. That's not a pun that I did.
Did
there.
I say that?
No, he
No,
said
I-
that.
Oh, you said
Bench said it.
it. Right. Sometimes Bench and I are so of one mind.
We are in sync, but also you need to remember we are not gaslighting you.
We being you and me?
No, me and Penny.
Okay.
Are you? Do you want to?
Are you okay?
I'm really
wanna
excited
be-
about this project, you guys.
Have you had any fiber or citrus? I'm just going back to the fact that you've all
Yes.
been eating rodents.
I eat lemon trees and lime trees
You eat
all the
trees?
time. Yeah, the bark from a lemon and a lime tree.
And none of
It's
the fruit.
very fibrous, and I assume has a lot of citrus
Oh,
in it.
I think you're thinking
No.
of zest. And
Where does the citrus come from if it's not coming up the bark?
the
that
fruit?
science?
Right?
Scientifically, that there's a hypothesis there.
Sure,
that
but
should
if
be
you order a
investigated.
food, it comes through the road, but you don't eat the road.
That's a horrible metaphor, Bench. You
Bad,
sound
yeah.
ridiculous right
What
now.
you trying to do? A pun or something?
Yeah, you
That's
sound
not-
foolish. My science is rock
guess-
solid, and you're making a fool of
I
yourself
guess I don't know what puns are.
by trying to keep up with my rock solid
I'm
bark
just-
science.
Can I read to you some of the names for
I
improv
think
teams I came
save
up
it
with?
for like 8 minutes from now.
Okay,
It feels like we should build this up more.
it's not very yes and.
Well, like I said, I don't do improv.
No, that makes sense. Neither do I.
None of us do.
None of us do. We're too busy being radio
Fool's
hosts.
errand.
Fool's
Yeah.
errand.
We are people
Well,
of the news.
You want to create something on stage that's one and done and that only the audience enjoys. That's not.
We report on real things that are happening in the world, like
Yes.
me finding a bird that became my roommate, friend, and
Yeah.
adventure partner, a la Indiana Jones.
Also, all of this is tightly scripted.
I'm slightly worried that this is going to be one of those situations again where like the eagle is actually just in it for the room, like the
Oh, yeah.
You think
You know,
justice could be taking
again.
advantage of me?
well, like yeah, because you have such a good. Let's face it, you have such a good house. Like you have
Your
a real nice
place is
Yeah,
beautiful.
my penthouse
beautiful.
is pretty sweet.
Like it's real nice. And
Yep.
I worry that they are maybe like, this is comfortable. I just have to keep bringing feedback. I make myself scarce most of the day. They don't even know I'm there.
You've
Like,
had a lot of lovers and pets that were in it for that.
You've had a lot of
Lovers and
lovers
pets.
that just stayed for so
Lovers and
long.
pets.
I do think
No,
That doesn't go on the
no.
list.
I'm
No.
going to be honest. I still feel even if that were the case, while that would hurt emotionally,
Yeah.
that knowing that my bond and love for justice was not reciprocated as deeply as I feel for him, I still feel like I'm coming out ahead
Yeah.
with all these squirrel dinners I'm getting.
Yeah, I think that's it. At the
Winner,
end of
winner,
the day,
squirrel dinner.
Indeed.
at the end of the day, a relationship
adventure
is what you
partner.
make it. Like
An
that's
adventure
it.
partner.
Yeah, a relationship, and whether that be friendship or a serious like marriage, whatever, it's what you make
I'm
and
not
what
going
you
to
want.
marry justice.
No, don't be silly.
No,
Yeah.
Now-
Adventure partners
now-
cannot be romantically involved.
That
that is
is the
one
law.
of the most important rules about adventure partners.
What about Marianne?
because what went wrong?
Got you there.
That's a good point.
Marianne.
But they ultimately stopped being adventure partners, right? He went
Yeah.
on
Well,
his
they
own
keep
adventures.
going back out and together. And
That's why it
re-meeting.
doesn't work. They can't be adventure partners.
I think
if
like
they were adventure
3
partners, then they would just keep going on adventures with each other and be lovers. But when they're
I do
lovers,
believe
that
that-
makes the adventure partners that work. My theory holds up, Edge.
I do believe that
Breathe, man, breathe.
I'm passionate about this.
out of the 5 Indiana Jones movies end with him and Marion getting together.
End
again.
with. End with.
End with.
Three
So
out
she's
of-
not on the adventure the whole time.
3 out of
Right? So
5.
She isn't.
She's not a.
Oh my
but
God,
not
let me
on
do
all
this
of them.
joke before we move too
Do the
far
joke.
away from
Yeah,
it.
do it.
3 out of 5 dentists agree Indiana Jones and Marion end up together at the end of a film.
Worth it. 100%. Be careful with the mics. I'll shake your hand. Good joke.
We
Good
were
joke.
not parties to that joke, but
Good
we
joke.
witnessed
Yeah.
it.
Indeed.
Thank you.
We've all done-
Your
only do-
wrists have
We've all-
gotten so strong, Penny.
Thank you. I'm just gonna rest it on my
Casually, very casual.
That's so dangerous and makes me actively nervous.
No, Penny's got it.
No,
She is a master of mic technique.
Yeah.
Indeed.
What's this?
This looks so natural and comfortable for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I was out and about. Does anyone know supermarkets these days?
Oh, there she
I don't
goes.
need to go to a supermarket because I have justice.
That's a good point. Yeah.
What supermarket?
What supermarket?
Yeah.
Oh God, I could go at any of them. I prefer quarter foods.
Oh, I like quarter foods.
Quarter foods.
Yeah.
Where you only get a little quarter portion.
Yeah. 1/4 portion.
1/4 portion. Can I tell you these team titles I came up
Sure,
with?
please
let's
do.
do it.
Just because I worry that like you'll be so invested
Please
in it
do.
that you'll want to discuss some more.
Please do.
So these are all literal things that came out of Dirk's mouth.
Yep. Hey. Is that a
Pause
team name? Literal things that came out of Dirk's
Also,
No,
mouth?
because
I'm
that
just
came out of
gonna
my
say-
mouth.
That's
I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to remember any of these. This will be entirely brand new information every time you
Perfect.
tell me a new
Okay,
title.
so the one that I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up because the one that spurred
How
this
many are
was
there
so
total?
good.
Work your
There's
way-
We can do numbers.
7.
Work your way
okay.
up in terms of like your favorites.
Well, this was
From least
chronological,
favorite
but I
to-
think chronologically it kind of goes towards my favorite.
Yeah, all
okay.
right. Number
so this is
7.
number 7.
One bird and one human.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Adventures with Justice.
That's a great one. Also,
that feels also like a spin-off of the show, like a little
Wiley
children's
Justice.
novel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Adventures with Justice.
That's like
that
a children's novel where Wiley, then Justice.
Oh my God,
Falcon
breathe,
you got
man,
this, you
breathe.
got this.
letters to the kids, and they can read them from all over the world.
The bird brings the letters.
Yeah, to the kids.
Maybe to the
It's like a
kids,
chi- a
and then
children's
they
book.
solve the justice themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Number 5.
In
Where
fifth
this is the whole
place.
justice verse
I love it.
that we're establishing here.
In 5th place. One Big Boulder.
Good.
That's
I
a
really
good-
like the
yeah.
name One Big Boulder.
I feel
like
like
that
I
one.
know of specific improv names that had very similar names to that.
One big boulder, good name.
Number 4. Animal Companions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
solid all
Simple,
around.
clean.
Number
clean.
3. A la Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's
Gonna be honest, I like that
That
one.
was
my
a good
favorite kind of pasta.
Yeah. Number 2. Relics and Artifacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
like that
history, very serious that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And in 1st place, and chronologically said first, Mice is Science.
Mice is science,
Mice
which
is
I stand
science.
by. Mice is science. Mice is also history.
And history is science.
Well, I don't know about that.
Sorry, that was a very visual thing. I just said in an audio format, but I
I don't know.
tried
Let's
to
maybe
cheers.
not have that
I tried to
that
cheers.
logo there.
Yeah, the logo.
Oh, I know that. Okay, fine. I'm going to cheers with the credits.
The credits.
Credits of this can.
You refer to the ingredients
back of
list
any
and the
cans
nutrition information
Yeah.
on
As the
a
credits.
'Cause it's
piece
white.
of food or beverage
It's-
as the credits.
Well, only if it's white text on black.
if it's any other color
Any
of
other
a
color,
can,
it's
it
no
doesn't
longer
count as
credits.
credits.
No
What is
longer
it
credits.
then? Then it's ingredients and nutritional information.
Yeah, ingredients,
I
nutritional
enjoy that.
information, and distributors' contact info.
Contact info.
The
I
different VFX
love
houses that worked on it.
contacting distributors of beverages.
You do that
I'm
often.
glad they tell us. Usually just thank you notes.
I
is
like
what
when they
send.
say
Nice.
best
Yeah.
before end sea base of can, and I'm like, what time is sea base of can? Am I right?
Shake our hands. That's another handshakes
you.
all around.
Thank you.
We are good at
What
radio.
month of the
Good.
year is sea base of can?
We don't need
Sea
improv.
base
There's
of
stand-up.
cans. If you think of it like a sea base in
Base
the
of
place of
cans.
Cannes, the place in France, that's a good one.
If you
That's
had
a good team name. Base of cans.
if you had like a submarine lair that was based in
Sorry, say that
Cannes,
word again?
France. Submarine lair?
Submarine lair.
Yes.
Got
A
it.
lair that is a
Yes.
submarine,
Submarine, yep.
and you base it in Cannes, France.
Yeah, like the way I've spelled it.
sea base
of
of
Cannes.
Cannes, like
Not
where
like- yes,
a
sea
Bond
base of-
villain would
It's
reside.
not like a sea base of
Yeah.
the Toronto International Film Festival.
Do you
No.
think? Could we? I know that
French.
this
It's
is
more. It feels more French.
I know that this
Sundance.
is really inconvenient to do this in the middle of middle of a
Well,
one of our
we're
mornings.
firmly
but
in the end.
Could I in the middle of could we just take a little break and I'm just going to run off to the trademark office and just trademark all of these names
Yeah, I
before
think-
any of those pesky improvisers get a hold of them.
This is airing and they're so litigious.
I'm
we need
gonna
to
need
get that.
some of those for my justice verse.
Okay, sure. Like
So leave out of entertainment
Or
Right,
for
yeah,
these
yeah,
trademark
yeah,
it,
yeah.
but we'll split it up.
yeah.
I feel like I said all
We're
of
not
these. They should be
gaslighting
mine.
you. We're not gaslighting
They
you.
should be mine though, right? Justice is my friend. I wrote the script. I'm basically done everything thus
okay,
far.
okay.
I pitched
You know what?
heavily on the script, so I feel like I should
You
at least
pitched
get
only the children's spin-off.
Okay, you know what? You call your lawyer, I'll call my lawyer.
We'll
We'll
let
get
them
them
flesh it
together.
out.
They can flesh it out. We don't have time to flesh it out. We just want to get that moolah, baby.
Matthias.
And the Justice Verse begins.
Good Morning Driftwood is executive produced and hosted by Zach Stewart, Laura Hotchkiss, and Daniel Kvoras. Engineered and produced by Zach Stewart. Music by Daniel Kvoras.